Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Card Karma. Today I will be showcasing a standard deck that revolves around the card Florges EX. And yeah, Florges is a decent card. It has 160 HP, so kind of low for an EX, but it's a fairy attacker that doesn't have high attack cost like Xerneas EX does. So and it's also got a kind of more interesting strategy to it. His first attack for one fairy, lead, search your deck for a supporter card, reveal it, put it in your hand, which that saves you from pretty much any dead draws, which is nice if you start with Florges. And then the second attack for one fairy, one colorless, Bright Garden. This attack does 20 damage times the number of grass and fairy Pokemon you have in play. So yeah, we're mostly going to be trying to build up our garden more or less, plant our flowers, and then do massive damage with that Bright Garden attack. Um, However, there's a bit more of an interesting dynamic to this deck because we are also running Vileplume from Ancient Origins with the ability Irritating Pollen. Each player can't play any item cards from his or her hand. So yeah, it item locks both players. So yeah, it can be, this can obviously set you back, but it can really shut your opponent down if they're not prepared for it. So luckily we can build our deck around this ability, whereas they likely are not. So yeah, basic strategy here. We run a 3-3 line of Slurpuff, and that is basically when we're under this item lock, we want to still be drawing our cards. So this allows us to not rely so much on item-based draw, or that kind of thing. So yeah, we run 3-3 line of that. And this also helps us fill our bench for Bright Garden, obviously. 2 copies of Xerneas just to get some acceleration out. The thing is, if we don't have 2 Florges out, a lot of the time we don't even want to attach a second energy from the deck because we do not run Aromatisse like most fairy decks do, which maybe that's a mistake, but I already had 18 Pokemon. I feel like I don't need the energy transfer, and Max Potion won't be legal, so it's not really a strategy I'm gonna play around. So yeah, 2 copies of Xerneas. He's also just a good big body to put on the bench to fill up for Bright Garden. And then we run a 3-2-2 line of Vileplume. We're not trying to be that dependent on it, but they're grass types, so they also build up Bright Garden. So we don't mind having like an extra Gloom on the bench or whatever. So yeah, that's the basic strategy. And then getting into our trainer cards. Again, keeping in mind that at some point we're probably going to be under a Vileplume lock. So I'm only running 3 level balls. They're great. They grab pretty much any of our stuff, except for Vileplume and Xerneas and Florges. They grab all of our small baby ones. 1 Sacred Ash, that's obviously to get back Florges, because we only run 3, or whatever, Slurpuffs. Switch, we only run 1. Again, if we're item locked, this is useless, but we do want it just in case we don't have a Fairy Garden out. Yeah, pretty much. So run switch, 2 Ultra Balls again, not running a big line of them, just in case. This will allow us to grab whatever in a pinch. 3 Via Seeker, don't want to run too many, because obviously once we get locked, these are useless. 1 copy of Hex Maniac, this is another Ancient Origins card. Supporter, until the end of your turn, until your opponent's next turn, each Pokemon to play in hand and each discard have no abilities. So this can allow you to shut off your own Vileplume for a turn if you need to, and use your other, your other cards or switch or whatever it might be. So we run the 1-off copy of that. 2 copies of Lysander because we're not relying on VS Seeker them as much. We want to draw them more frequently. 1 copy of Sinner Lady because Florges is somewhat frail. We want to be able to try to make her tanky if possible. So I don't know, that might be a long shot, but I'm going to try it. Fan Club is a really great just opening card. If you get this in your opening hand or just in your first turn or so, like, it's great to just build up your bench. But at any point, really, that can be used to, like, let's say they trump a Skyfield, and then we play our Skyfield back down, Fan Club for 2 more basics. We're already at 7 Pokemon on the bench. So, yeah, it's pretty solid. I did build this for XY on, so I'm relying more on Professor Birch here than in Colress. So I run 2 copies of Professor Birch for draw power, 3 Sycamore, pretty straightforward. I'm actually replacing in more so with the Shaunas this time. Just shuffle your hand, draw 5. I mean, that's That's an average in, honestly, and it doesn't affect your opponent, which could be good, we could be bad, but we're going to try that out as our supporter. 3 copies of that. Here's an interesting one, a promo. Trevor, supporter card. Search your deck for a Pokemon, reveal it, put it into your hand. Now, that's not that powerful of an effect for a supporter, but under a Vileplume block, this could become a critical thing. Like, if your opponent's locked out of playing any of their stuff and you're still able to get your cards out, yeah, you could be in a good position. So yeah, I run the 1 copy of that. I don't know. I mean, I'm just gonna try it. All these are kind of, experimental, because without our default, chorus and in and all that, it's hard to say, what the best draw power is. I'm also, as you can see, no computer search here because that's gonna be rotating. Hold on, let me check my counts here. Okay, so yeah, 1 copy of Fairy Garden. Because we're not relying on it for the switching power. It's just more so if we get stuck and we need we need a way to switch out, we can always play this. And yeah, that might honestly be better than the float stones, because those can be played under the item lock and these can't. But yeah, I don't know. 1 copy of Forest of Giant Plants, because I'm not necessarily trying to turbo the Vileplume. Like, if we can get it out early, we will, but it's not our main objective here. Which could be wrong. We might try to, maybe it's best to try and turbo out the Vileplume and then just pick them off with the Florges while they struggle. But I didn't prioritize getting Vileplume out super early in this build, so I just ran the 1 copy of this. And again, this could be wrong. This is just me experimenting really with a lot of these cards. 3 copies of Skyfield, because primarily that's what we want, is a big bench full of fairies and grass types. So yeah, we run 3 copies of that. We are more dependent on that. 2 float stones. Like I said, I'm questionable now. Maybe more fairy gardens over 2 float stones is better. But the reason I included these, because yes, these are rotating, but I'm pretty sure they're confirmed to be getting a reprint. So I don't feel so bad about using them, but maybe there will be a point in time where this isn't a legal combination. So maybe I'm wrong in including it. Maybe I should just run the fairy gardens. Whatever. I'm going to leave it for now. And then, yeah, 2 copies of Muscle Band. If we can get them out before we get Vileplume down, and that'll be beneficial, and it'll amplify Florges' damage output. Yep, and then we run just 9 Fairy Energies, and that's pretty much the deck, guys. Pretty straightforward strategy. But yeah, let's see if we can pull something off with this combination. I've been calling it Flower Power, because they're all kind of like in the field and the flowers, and yeah. Yeah, so let's see what we can do. Alright, let's see what we can do with Florges Flower Power. Facing a NASCAR fan with a fire deck. He loses the coin flip, allowing us to go first. Go ahead and leave with Florges. Lay down both of our basics. Do we go ahead and Trevor right now? Question. Go ahead and do it. Get another Swirlix into play, why not? So get Fire come down, so he'll be able to use that Turbo Energize. Attaches a Muscle Band for some reason. Maybe he's attacking with it. We will be able to 2-shot this, so ahead and use our tastings. Apologize for the dog sounds. And Hex Maniac comes in clutch. Sorry I didn't talk a lot there. I was thinking a lot about how I was going to beat that Pyroar, and Hex Maniac was perfect. We do not have the Sky Field, unfortunately. Do I want to lock him out is, I guess, the question here. I think the answer is yes. Yeah, unfortunately, I only run the one Hex Maniac. Alright, now I'm gonna throw up that flower and hope he takes the bait and knocks it out. And he does. Alright, we got it, I think. Bang. Well, as for what that says to me, it's like we won the game by getting our own Vileplume killed. So, like, is Vileplume really helping the deck? I'm not sure. You know, we didn't turbo it out, so we didn't stop his early game acceleration. We didn't stop any of that. All we did was kind of make the end game really kind of difficult for both of us, really clunky, if you will. Which is why I'm skeptical on the whole Vileplume block kind of idea. I think it's a lot more powerful and expanded, but I'm pretty sure to run Vileplume successfully, you really want to be doing the turn 1 Vileplume with the grass, with the giant plant forest or whatever. Otherwise, it's just too little too late, I think. Alright, fighting Ghoul 6661 with a water colorless deck. Go ahead and go first. I think we'll be leading with a Swirlix, which is fine, I suppose. Go ahead and get an Audition to play. And I'm going to wait on everything else. So I'm just going to pass. See an experience share come down. Fan club. See what he grabs here. He can get up to 2 basics. Grabs an Articuno and a Rayquaza. Plays both of them. See a water come on to the Buffalont there. See if I can get another Swirlix down. See another Swirlix. And get our first Florges in there. Pass the turn. I put that there just in case we ever have to retreat with Fairy Garden. Highly doubt it, but my opponent says meet your maker. The All God. Alright, I'm not sure what that means. Let's see who our maker is. Magikarp. Alright, without a ban, he won't kill that Slurpuff, so I'm gonna wait. See a letter. Grabbing 2 more waters. He hits his Brady. Alright, we got everything in place. Experience share is going to kick in here. Go ahead and take our first prize. Hopefully he doesn't have a counter stadium. Well, we got exactly what the game plan is to get a bunch of Slurpuffs, so we're still drawing cards. We have Vileplume lock in play, so we can't play a lot of his stuff. I know this isn't the top tier deck to show it off against, but yeah, as you can see, we just keep a full hand of cards. It doesn't matter really. No Lysander. And I think with that energy, that'll be the game. Yep, and there's another win for you. Like I said, that wasn't the most competitive deck, but it did showcase the strategy, which is get a bunch of Slurpuff, draw all your cards, lock them down using items, and sorry about that, and just destroy them with Bright Garden. The damage output isn't insane, so yeah, I don't know. This deck is definitely, it's iffy for me. I do not think it's top tier quality. I don't think it's the next thing. But I do think it is a fun way to use both Florges, which is like an underrated attacker, and Vileplume, which is a new toy from Ancient Origins. So, hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any criticism, comments, anything you want to let me know, let me see, a deck you want me to showcase, any of that type of stuff, just leave it in the comments. Follows, likes, subscribes, all that stuff is greatly appreciated. And you can catch me live on twitch.tv/carmaverick. So yeah, hope you enjoyed yourself and have a good day. Card Karma signing out.